The 90s was a decade of classic music, awesome movies, and memorable television shows. But did you know the 90s also had some great video games? Yes, it's true. The 90s was in many ways the golden age of video games. Here's a game that was really good, Sonic and Knuckles. First of all, it's a really weird game because the actual game cartridge could be connected to either Sonic the Hedgehog 2 or Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and then you could play kind of a chimera mix of both games. It was a very strange concept. I can't figure out how they presented this to Sega. Like, let's make a game where you could put other games into this game and create a mixture of both games. What? Get out of here, Johnson. You're fired. The game itself is really good. I mean, classic Sonic. Great music, high-octane action, memorable levels, and really tight controls. On top of playing as Sonic, you could also play as Knuckles, who is an echidna, which is basically like a hedgehog, just with a longer nose. Kind of like a mix, if you will, just like this game, of a hedgehog and an anteater. Knuckles has some really good moves. I mean, he can run almost as fast as Sonic, but he can also glide. This glide, when timed properly, can also be turned into like a flying Superman punch, where he can basically hit everything he glides into. I'm talking both enemies and obstacles. The coolest thing about Knuckles, though, is the fact that he can climb walls like Spider-Man. This kind of makes him better than Sonic, at least in this game. It's basically like playing two separate games in one, just because of how radically different the Knuckles gameplay is compared to Sonic. The bonus stages in this game were a nice change of pace, but honestly, so was switching between playing as Knuckles and Sonic. Like, even if you're running through an area that's similar, it's almost like a completely different game because the characters have different moves. 90s gaming was just the perfect middle ground between massive open-world AAA titles that cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make and two sticks bouncing a ball in between each other. And this type of gameplay isn't entirely dead. You see a lot of people making games in the style of 8-bit or 16-bit games. Games like Shovel Knight, for example. But really, I see games like Shovel Knight as more an honor, a paying respect to classic games rather than a good imitation of classic games. Like, they're an emulation, but they're not even close to the real thing. For the real thing, you just had to be there. You have to build a time machine and travel back to the 90s. You know what? I guarantee you at some point they will make a Back to the Future reboot where Marty McFly travels back to the 90s when his parents met. I'm calling it right now. The movie will come out in like 2021, and it's gonna star Justin Bieber as Marty McFly. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe. Goodbye, my friends.